realness.
All these abominations that we facing, they're hitting us with bombs, destroying the nations. Hidden hand is faceless, we fall if we don't stand to these racists. They pacing the fourth right. I lose my patience, turn them into patience. They ain't gon' make it, that's my foresight. We've been battling evil before Adam and Eve, dude. Talking serpents and seeds, bloodlines that rule. They didn't teach you this in school. Finding light in dark reality, that's what we need. Kinda hard when they taking souls of soldiers, putting them on screens and watching bleed. Families crushed, full of broken dreams. Sacrificial lambs for these false gods that want us dead. They claiming royal, but they genetics are spoiled. My higher self connected like I'm tethered to coil. I got my tin hat while you trapped in the foil. I bat a man, but I won't rob him, a true seeker. I'm out here murking goblins. I got no cape, just lyrical weight that anchor you. I'm gon' break an ankle, you gon' need a tank or two. Not talking wrestle or boxing. These are chess moves, press you more than the times. The more that I rhyme, the more that I can see that I'm dying. I'm talking ones and O's, I'm breaking matrix codes.
So you all know I don't really like follow trends and just quick to, put out a video as soon as something comes out. In this case, gotta talk about it, and this is stuff I've been talking about anyways. Why I felt the need for this video faster than normal. I usually just, because I'm editing these videos more like a documentary. To a certain extent, so they take a little time. I only put out one a month usually now, but when you have the eclipse coming up and then now CERN activating that day, which could be smoke and mirrors, because if you remember like the last eclipse and other events within the last few years, they make sure they let you know that CERN is activating again. However, I'm sure there is something to it. Also, NASA with the 3 rockets shooting into the shadow of the moon, supposedly to study it. We'll go into that. Interesting. You know me, one of my main things to uncover and decode this matrix system we live in is symbolism, sigils, sigil programming. The symbols tell us as much as we're going to understand from our perspective, right? So, I'm going to show you some interesting connections, some new ones, some old ones, compilated all together, painting a picture, and it's up to you to decide what it means. Does it mean that the goVarmints are a hive mind? Alright, we'll be somewhat short and sweet with this video. You all know from, yourselves looking and researchers over the years, and I'm sure right now everyone that makes videos is talking about CERN and all this stuff that I'm about to talk about, but I got to, because I'm coming at it with the, a different aspect with the symbolism part of it. I want to connect and show you how they're literally a hive mind through the symbolism. And so first I just wanted to show you, thought this was interesting. Someone else already put this together online. I just clipped it out, showing the history of NASA's logos. The first one, interesting. And it was the phoenix Not surprising. Some of the Nazi symbolism, not just them using it, just like this one here. Hardly changed it up, but I mean, it's there. NASA, and these are supposedly all different companies, different corporations. Each one of them are separate, right? Well, they appear to be separate. But are they really? And with all the symbols in the world you could make, what's the odds that you're gonna have the same symbols over and over again? See, this is a language. This is a way they show you the connection. They're not expecting you to see it this way. See, I myself know it's a hive mind, and the videos aren't to convince you. Just trying to show you what this world is through the symbolism. The symbolism will register, and your inner self will do what it's supposed to do, and you just know. And it's a hive mind, just like when they were hitting the world with the shots. That's a great example to see how it's a hive mind, how the goVarmints are all on the same page, and the ones that weren't, where there was a couple of world leaders that were assassinated throughout these last couple of years. Those are the ones that didn't go with the plan. So, you know NASA's logo. Now here's side by side with Boeing. And I don't even have to say much about this one. It's just right there. Again, hive mind. Meaning there's a power. There's one hidden power that's really in control of all this, and the main funding behind it. And I don't know if you see my last video, but nowadays I'm calling these individuals the Marcons. Or you could take that word, Marchons, Martians. A lot of wordplay within that. You know, the Archons, the ones that march on, the ones that conquer, and conquer, and conquer. And I'll bring this up again. This is showing you all the different space agencies. Again, someone online has already put this together. I'm just showing it for example. This is most of the space agencies right here in this little clip. And you're seeing it. And what are you going to say about it? Let me guess. Well, they're going to space, man. What do you expect them to use? A teddy bear? Shooting up? Well, no. Of course not, man. That's Kanye's stuff. His symbolism he uses. So, so again, I'm just showing you. Oh, by the way, the Delta Airlines. Now that I'm peeking at it, that's the Citgo gas station. I know it's a pyramid, but I'm saying it's literally the same design of the Citgo gas station. Anyway, so yeah, again, this is all the top agencies, and we're all looking at the same exact symbol. I mean, if you look at that and say, nah, there's no hive mind, there's no way they're all connected. By just looking at that alone, you got a long ways to go, and that's all right. This is what NASA says why they're shooting the 3 rockets into the shadow of the eclipse to study the atmospheric disturbances triggered by the eclipse that could interfere with satellite signals and radio frequencies. Whatever. And the funny thing too, the facility the rockets are launched from, Wallops facility, Wallops. Interesting. And they're shooting them up 45 minutes apart. And also, they got that supposed asteroid Apophis coming around. If you've ever looked, All the numbers they give you on that, interesting. More sixes than Hollywood event. You would see hand signs being thrown around. Radius 606.96. Mass 26.99. Apophis 99942. 666. They love it. They love it. And then when I see that, and I see things like this, SpaceX announces plans to set 100 Starlink satellites on fire. The way my mind works makes me think they're somehow gonna set down what's been hovering up with helium hanging out up there waiting for the event, and they're gonna fake asteroids. I mean, look at the background picture of it. That's what a satellite would look like falling down, huh? Or as what you've always shown us as an asteroid. Who knows? Interesting and weird. So, one of the ways I decode this matrix system, and it's a key principle for me to understanding stuff, is because in Hebrew it's right to left. So a lot of times the spellcasters are projecting in their spells in reverse, right to left. True meaning, the deeper meaning, is right to left. So now with NASA, the word, we know so much decodes with that so many know already, right? Like, for instance, with the word NASA, NASA, when they take off, it's T minus, right? But when you add that T back in, the letters of NASA, scramble it around, it becomes Satan. You decide if that's a coincidence. It's not for me, because the word coincidence and coincide, damn near the same word. Because when you get enough coincidences, they all add up and they coincide, and that's on purpose. But let me show you this. Now this is what ties in my opinion, what ties in NASA with CERN and this hive mind control system and the plan that they're all a part of. The word NASA backwards is a sign. It has a couple meanings. I'll go through the first one because this one's interesting too. NASA Asan can mean the one who hangs. Now think about that, with them owning most of the helium and satelloons and being held up by helium. They're satellites. And also made me think, I watched that 3-Body Problem movie the other day, and they were saying the only way for survival is basically Vermanis. And of course the helium is what they need for the floating Vermanis. So made me think of that, because again, Asan, one of the meanings is the one who hangs. And they got these nuclear powered hotels in the sky, they call them. Now this right here is what I was saying, ties NASA directly into CERN and dealing with the portals and possibly opening up for demonic entities to get here from another realm, lower realm. Asan means Lord Shiva or Lord Vishnu, and already it's going to ring the bell for a lot of you, because you already know right in front of CERN you got Lord Shiva, the goddess of destruction. NASA backwards, Asan, means Lord Shiva. So as of late, I call my series Alchemical Attacks, you know, because a lot of it they're using alchemical symbolism. They're also using the same thing in mythology, or satellites and the names of missiles, nuclear missiles, Satan 2, and Thanatos, and like everything's mythology. And it's alchemical attacks on us. And that's no different in this case. Check this one out. Another one may or may not have connections to the hive mind is Asan is a autistic self-advocacy network. Now that's just interesting because of their symbol, the colors of course, but the symbol, basically the open AI symbol. And they got a hexagram in the center of that one, which they tuck the hexagram inside of a lot of symbols. You don't even see it, or on the outside. Hiding it with its sacred geometry. Hiding it with a different symbol or a different pattern. This one's interesting. The word NASA can also be the word Sana, S-A-N-A. So Sana is a biotech company. Check it out, Sana Biotechnology. It says Sana is creating engineered cells to repair and control genes in cells or replace missing or damaged cells to solve the underlying cause of disease. I just found it interesting. I mean, the fact that they're dealing with DNA manipulation, cell manipulation. Of course, they're all these industries. It's all always for our benefit with everything. Of course it is. They love us. Free shots for everyone. Not in the bar. You know what I mean. Well, we already know that's 100% BS. They're not about healing the powers of the world. They're not about healing us. If anything, using us and our genetics and cells and things like that to keep themselves going. Thousands of years of inbred to try to keep it in the family. And so, again, you got them activating CERN on the same day as the eclipse. And as you can see right here, to me, this is an example of the hive mind that they're all in on. I like to call it whatever this big event or when it goes down. The symbolism is kind of a sign of it. Because as you see right here, you got the octagon with the monster, the 666 in the center. You know, the beast computer, right? Then you got CERN, Hadron Collider, and Chase. Of course, Chase kind of looks like the swastika. It's a representation of that, but look at the, again, sacred geometry. Look at the outer perimeter. You're dealing with the same symbol as CERN, the same as UFC right there, the octagon. You know, knowing that the chase and CERN is the same symbolism, that chase makes me think about chase, like being chased, the CERN machine chasing you, regarding to the, it's a big magnet, among other things, but the big 17-mile wide magnet, a magnet can pull you in, right, with the black hole that they talk about creating. But these are just thoughts. These are just wild thoughts. And I find this interesting because I'm a word guy, right? So think about the Large Hadron Collider. You know, it's LHC. But you know how the H can make like a or a O sound. So what is that? Lock? Because if we're thinking about the beast computer, you know, what would they be trying to do? Trap souls? So if you were raising up into the clouds, is that what's happening? Or would you be getting pulled into a CERN machine? Because, you know, they even tell you it's a big, it can blow everything up, destroy everything, suck everything into a black hole, right? There's a huge magnet, a magnetic field. I just find it all interesting. Let's just say that. LHC, lock. Because again, CERN's CERNonus, but also think about the word discern, to judge, you know? And if, again, you were thinking about giving you a false afterlife, and, you know, trying to trap you, all these connect to that, to me. I mean, not to try to cause fear. What do they call it? Fear mongering. I'm just showing you all the stuff I find. It's interesting. Good to be aware. Good to be aware. Because of course you could be trapped if you're unaware. How can you be when you are aware? Just looking at some of the names they use kind of makes you think it's not for what they tell you it is. Look at some of them. Lear, liar, Medici, Medici's, you know, that's a family name. I solid, soul in there, awake, lock, B, or LHC. Alice, Alice in Wonderland. Have you ever asked this question? You know, because they got the main, you only hear about the main CERN, right? That's not the only one. So just a quick search will show you. And they got, I'm sure, more than this. They got, now I don't know if on the same size and scale as the one in Brussels, you know what I mean? Well, the beast computers in Brussels, Belgium. The CERN 17-mile wide ring, right? Well, guess what? There's at least 30,000 colliders in our known world. Now that's, I mean, that blows your mind, right? It blew my mind because it tells me that this place is hot wired to do whatever it is that they're gonna do. You know, whatever the plan is, it's literally seems like it's hot wired to blow up the whole place. Or they just gotta start leaking radiation everywhere. Or if nukes are really a thing, one of them goes off. 30,000 colliders. And think about all the thousands and thousands of nuclear power plants. Are they just crashing that many particles together? 30,000? Nah, they've been doing this for almost 100 years, whatever CERN really is. I recommend this movie from the 50s? I watched it like 2 years ago. I gotta rewatch it. It's called The Magnetic Monster. Check that out.
The operatives of OSI are called Amen. Amen. Sounds like the final word of a prayer. It is not. A stands for atom. Atom stands for power. Power man is unleashed, but has not yet learned to control. Whirling in space, each atom is a solar system unto itself. When studied separately, its gamma rays yield information useful in the experiments carried on by the technicians at OSI. Our equipment covers the range of instruments, from the simple test tube to the complex 50,000-volt electron microscope. Amen are detectives with degrees in science. The criminals we seek are sometimes invisible to the human eye, like radiation from outer space, or particles held prisoner deep in the heart of the atom. Infinitesimal, yet within this tiny molecule there's a tremendous force that once unlocked can create or destroy planets. Our Earth is a planet.
Atomic weight 10011. Radiation 10100.
11:55. Last minute preparations were made.
All matrix codes,
checked and rechecked.
ones and O's.
Finally, everything was ready. The computer was awakened from its slumber, and the data fed into the brain of the maniac.
That Power Man 5000 song, When Worlds Collide, it's literally talking about CERN portal opening up. They're definitely high-level occult wizards themselves, man. Their album covers tell a lot. That's just one of them. There's several movies I've mentioned from the 60s, 70s, 80s, even before that, Saturn movies, and every one of them movies, Saturn is a computer. So I bring it up again, if our soul's electromagnetic, telling me these Ghostbuster sons of bitch aren't trying to figure out how to harness that. I brought this up several times in my other videos, even in the last one, again, because Tesla backwards is all set's a nuclear power company. And when you look at go right to their website, well, you can't now without a password, but I saved some screenshots from a while back from, before they did that. And you could see what looks like a collider ripping a hole, and you could see, the black sun, basically. And you also have, this is the examples to sum it up, adding into this hive mind that seems to be in control of this world. Then you have gates on the board, which means, obviously we know what that really means. It's a way to hide the power. So anyways, the company is called Terra Power. It's another nuclear power company. And now Terra is Earth, right? So Earth power. And Terra, if you think simulation talk, computer talk, terabytes, that's just so interesting. So interesting. So again, you got gates tying in with the nuclear, of course, because these demons, their foot is in every door. And now, going back to CERN to end it, again with NASA, a sign backwards meaning Shiva, which is right in front of CERN. To further add on to that connection with gates and CERN, portal technology, and the nuclear power and all that. Well, who do you think makes all the computer parts for CERN? They work with IBM, which we know who that is. That's from Gates' family. Which, these are government. These are all different heads of the beast, you could say. And then who else, though, outside of IBM? Microsoft, still the same. So again, regardless if you see it or not, the point of this video is to show you that there is a hive mind group of whatever you want to call them in power of this place. And they give you the illusion that it's separate. Now, I know there's beefs even within these bloodlines to kill each other off, because power, shit, even two brothers fighting, family, kill each other, even regular, little families or whatever, normal families. So I get all that. I'm not saying there's not a whole bunch of that, but at the end of the day, as a collective, there is a collective soul. Well, it's not even a soul with them, whatever it is. It's a collective hive mind. And the symbolism says it all. I said my video was going to be done at noon today. Reason why it took longer is there's something I had to find. It's a snap picture from a couple years ago. Had to find it. It's on an old phone. Half of the screen doesn't work. So once I found it, took a half an hour to get it. Check it out. This is a crew of workers. I don't know what they do, but standing at the CERN machine, looking up at it. Look at the tattoo on the right back side of dude's arm there. I had to show you this because now these are people that work there at CERN. And some of you know what that symbol is standing for. That's alchemical symbol right there. You know, that's symbolizing transcendence, the philosopher's stone. It's the A and the O, you know, the I in the middle, the pyramid. This is referring to portal, exactly what CERN is and all that, you know. I had to show you this. It took a while to find it. So, all we could do is wait and see. I'm not too sure if this eclipse coming up on the 8th is the one that is referred to in a lot of these coat of arms and a lot of these world flags. A lot of them is with the Islamic flags, is with the alignments, with the 3-body alignment, to be specific. So we'll see. You know, I've heard a few try to speak about this symbol right here in the past, and yeah, it's clearly 3 6s in there, but what you're looking at is an alchemical symbol. Of course, it's the Google Chrome, and it's literally meaning, in alchemy, it means to open a portal, a vortex that creates heat, to open up a portal. That's why the other name with the interwebs is windows, you know, opening up portals, windows. And ties in with AI and ayahuasca, meaning that other entities or archons, they can be interfacing through the technology. And some of that's not new theories and thoughts. However, what I'm doing is tying it in again with all that symbolism, showing you that it's not just talking about these vortex and portals and dimensions. The symbolism in the alchemical language shows it. It shows it. Alchemical attacks.
In the days of the storm, I'm here in physical form to battle. Stick to these patterns, I run rings around these suckers like Saturn. Saturn Chronos, the master of time. Take away the C from clock, it's a lock for your mind. Things to know before you enter, only way out through the center. But you don't remember how to get back what you in the trap.